What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Now, we may just have to consider throwing out the idea of Ital Juve. Instead, maybe Juventus are a little bit more focused on a Brazil Juve, especially with the latest edition of Bremer and another guy they're now being linked with. We'll talk about that as well as the other things going on in this Mercado today. Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro, and today it is Monday, July 25th, 2022. Of course, I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus. If you haven't already, make sure you do 2 or 3 things for me real quick. Make sure you first like the video, smash that like button, really helps our channel to continue to grow, the algorithm, all that good stuff. You don't need me to tell you anymore. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, as well as hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. One thing that being subscribed to the channel and hitting the like button will help you do, though, is get the opportunity to potentially win the official Juventus Paul Pogba shirt that we are giving away on August 1st, 2022. That's in like less than a week, I think. Something around there. We will be giving that away here on the channel during a live stream. How can you be entered in that? Well, first off, go to our Twitter account. Make sure you go to our Twitter account. Make sure you find it at Bianconeri Zone. Pinned at the very top, you will find the giveaway tweet that we have posted there. Make sure you like the tweet, retweet the tweet, and then, of course, tag a friend in there at the bottom. As well as the other part of it is just you have to be subscribed to this channel. If you're watching this video right now, I'd imagine you're probably subscribed to the channel, or you're at least thinking about it. If you haven't done it, subscribe to the channel now. One other thing that I can definitely throw in there, just real quick, I won't give the whole rundown like I normally do. You can read it on the screen right now. But basically, if you join our Bianconeri Zone members club at the premium level, you get all the different cool things you get being a member. But most importantly, you get that giveaway priority, which for this giveaway, even if you only do it for this week or this month, I guess, you will get 5 times the opportunity to be entered in to win the Paul Pogba shirt. That's 5 times more than the one time that everybody else is getting there. So definitely some really cool bang for your buck. And I'll be honest, our last winner was a member. They had 5 times the opportunity, and they won. So that's how it works out. Consider doing that today. All right, let's get in the news that we have for you today. The very first news topic I have is talking about Juventus potentially being considering Bobby Firmino. Juventus are considering Liverpool's Roberto Firmino. Liverpool values him at £20 million. This is from the Daily Mirror. I don't think I need to say when it comes to the source stuff. There's other sources who have also, I want to say corroborated this, but have also reported similar things. I'm not going to say their names because I don't want to disparage anybody, but what I am saying is it's not the best sources. It's sources that DM people to try to push their news so that way people think that it's actually a good source. Not great, but what I will say here is it's very interesting. Another Brazilian player. He's 30 years old, though, to potentially be the backup, the vice of Vlahovic. There's other options out there. Obviously, we talk about Arnautovic quite a bit. Arnautovic, 33. Firmino, 30. And then we talk about, of course, bringing back the idea of Alvaro Morata. If you're asking me, I'd rather just stick with Morata. If it's just between those 3 and the Zaniolo deal's not involved in the situation, I'd rather stick with Morata. But we'll see. We'll see how this develops. This one could be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Maybe he's I say Morata too is because he knows the club. He's been a part of it, and he's been solid, especially if you're looking at a backup kind of guy. Maybe it's a little bit too much of sentimental investment there. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Do you like the idea of Firmino coming from Liverpool to become a Juventus player? Let me know in the comment section down below, and you can tell me how wrong I am. All right, let's move on to the second topic of the day, another topic that is not going to make me too happy. I'm not going to be a happy boy, right? Tudo Sports reporting that Juventus are targeting Paredes, and PSG have reportedly opened up the possibility of a swap with Rabiot while keeping the option open for a possible loan transfer with an obligation. At the moment, Juventus still think PSG's value is much too high, and I agree with that. But you know that I'm not a Paredes guy, and that's the thing. I know Julian will get on here and he'll push his Paredes propaganda as he likes to do, and I understand too. I get the idea that potentially Max Allegri could like a guy he wants to bring in a regista. If he needs a regista, help him out. Well, true. But what other options do we have out there? Regista are we looking at? Like, what other options could we be using instead of bringing in more deadwood that we don't need? Again, I've said if you want to ship off some deadwood, Ramsey, Rabiot, sorry, Morata, I apologize for that one if you watch the video, as well as Archer. If you get those three guys out, then maybe you'd be okay. But again, you're replacing 3 deadwood with 1 deadwood. I understand the math makes sense, but in the long run, it'd be nice to not have any of it. And that's my personal opinion. I know there are people who like Paredes on the channel. I see your comments. I'm just not up to battling it today, to be honest. We'll see what happens with the situation. We'll continue to follow it. But yeah, that's where it is. The one thing I kind of posture a little bit here is, what about the idea of Rovella? He's playing as a regista the other day for Juventus. He looked pretty dang good. Again, I understand the competition is not nearly. You're playing MLS or lower level, basically, is who they're playing against. So I get it. But at the same time, he was playing with like the D squad, and that's what they called me in high school. But with the D squad, that's who they were playing with, and he did everything he could to keep that game going. And I don't know. I give him a little bit of credit there. We'll see what happens in the next couple of days, if he gets a lot more playing time against Barcelona and Real Madrid, or if he gets playing time at all. Let's just say that, not a lot more, but playing time at all. How does he perform in that situation? We'll keep an eye on that. Let's go on and talk about a guy that I like, and that is, of course, Nicolo Zaniolo. You know I'm a Zaniolo here on the channel. Tudo Sports reporting that Tottenham are also interested in Zaniolo. Juventus first need to sell before making their move, also given Roma's willingness not to open up to include players. Here's the way I'm going to take this news, or this reporting. First up, let's just say this. If I don't buy for a second the premise, the idea that Juve need to sell before making their move for Zaniolo. Bull bleeping shit. I bleeped out one word to say the other curse word. I'm sorry. I apologize. Kiddos at home, earmuffs. There you go, earmuffs. But after the fact. Anyway, I apologize. This is what you get on the channel. I don't believe it for a second. I don't think Juventus need to get more money before they go out and get Zaniolo. I think they can make it happen. You're probably going to get him on a 10 million euro loan plus, and then maybe 15, something like that. I don't think you are paying 15 million euros. I'm not doing that argument with you people once again. I think it's probably going to be closer to 40. But, and I understand they're trying to put a little bit of pressure on Roma because they know Zaniolo wants to go to Juve, so they want to put some pressure to include a player in the deal to make it that much sweeter and that much better for the club. Enter Tottenham, or the idea of Tottenham, maybe not really Tottenham. Let's say this. Paratici is obviously a fan of Zaniolo. He wanted to bring him into the club while he was at Juventus. He likes him. So, of course, there's going to be a link there. And who do I think is maybe pushing that link? Potentially Roma. Potentially Roma trying to up the stakes for Juventus, saying there's some competition, saying you may need to come to the table quickly, otherwise he may go elsewhere. That's where I kind of sit with this, and that's why I'm not fully buying in to the idea, the hype that Tottenham are really gonna go swoop in and take Zaniolo out from Juventus's legs. We'll see. We'll see if anything really starts to develop here, but that's my kind of belief when it comes to this situation. Again, though, I still would like to see him come to the club. But as much as Zaniolo may like Paratici, I don't think he'd rather go to Tottenham. Right. All right, let's continue on, though, and let's talk about the guy that I talked about a little bit ago, about Rovella. Well, Gazzetta dello Sport is reporting that Rovella is close to joining Salernitana on a loan. No option to buy. It's an interesting news report. The reason I say that is because if that's really what's going on, then maybe Juventus already had the idea that Manetti and Fagioli are the two guys staying and not Rovella. I understand Rovella can be he can be definitely worthy on the marketplace. He's going to make some money. But if this is just to put him out at Salernitana for a year, not really the best situation, not the best location to play. But I guess Genoa wasn't either. But I would be interested to see if this is actually going to come to fruition, especially given we have 2 more preseason matches. I understand not a ton of time, but really I like some of the stuff I saw from Rovella. Can he potentially work his way up, maybe build up that confidence in him as a player with the club in the next couple matches here that we're going to see? But otherwise, Salernitana is an option. Keep an eye on that. All right. Talking about the other half of that, or the other third of that, I guess, is Nicolo Fagioli. Repubblica reporting that Fagioli has reportedly already expressed to the club his willingness to stay at Juventus as long as he gets some playing time. His contract runs out in 2023, and for this reason, he is asking for guarantees before renewing. I don't know if I have really a lot to break down when it comes to Nicolo Fagioli. I would just say that makes sense. He's been very vocal about wanting playing time. Wherever he has to go, he wants playing time. He's not getting any younger. He's still a young player, but he needs to be able to develop and build that resume. Build that resume, show out his skills so that way he has the better opportunity to play at the top level. He would love that opportunity to be at the top level at Juventus, but if it has to be elsewhere, so be it. So something to keep an eye on, especially if Juventus will retain him for this season and coming into the future. He did some good things there against, like I said, against Chivas, but at the same time, let's see how he does against Barcelona. Let's see how he does against Real Madrid. Better competition. All right, let's go back to Rabiot. Let's talk about him. We mentioned him in the Paredes deal, the situation they're trying to work out. Corriere dello Sport is reporting, though, that Rabiot has declined Lyon's proposal. His agent hopes that PSG will soon show interest in the Frenchman, who is eager to play in the Champions League. So we'll see. Again, another Juventus player who is, like I said, a deadwood player, but thinks that they are entitled to play in the Champions League. Go figure. Surprise. Shock. That's where we sit. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Will PSG actually be interested enough to bring him back to the club after sending him out on a free before? Maybe, but we'll have to keep an eye on that for now. But we do know that Rabiot seems to be open and understanding the idea that, hey, it's time for me to move on, and it's time to my time with Juventus is going to be done next season. Might as well let's just finish it out here and get going in this Mercado, so that way I can already start planning for the future. Let's talk about one of his other deadwood companions, and that, of course, is Artur. And that's kind of what we're talking about here at the end. Mirko Di Natale is saying that Arsenal like Artur, but no contact with Juve yet. He was offered a few days ago to Barcelona, who have no room for other midfielders at the moment. So basically what we're saying is right now, Artur, unfortunately, those gateways out are not shutting, but they're getting tighter. They're getting tighter. Arsenal, they do like him. Let's see if they really come to the table, because right now Barcelona doesn't look like they have the option to bring him back to the club. And then finally, the last bit of news we have for you today is Mirko Di Natale, who's talking about Daniele Rugani, another deadwood player, for being honest, overall for Juventus. He's not one of the Bologna's targets should that Artur Tiate leave for Rennes. So, I think we kind of expected that. It seems more and more likely that Rugani will probably end up remaining with the club this season, especially given that it seems that Juventus are not super keen on going after another center back in this Mercado. We'll see. Anything can develop, though, because this Mercado, the last bit of this Mercado is a little bit more of a question mark when it comes to Juve. They need to make sales right now while they're in the halftime of the Mercado, as I like to say, but they definitely still could make a few different moves. Are they going to actually go after Vlahovic? Are they going to go after Zaniolo? Are they going to go after the Regista? And then also, would they go after a center back? Keep an eye on that. We'll see. I think maybe we're looking at 2 to 3 more players in the Mercado. Guy in the bottom of the comments who continues to tell me that Juve aren't going to buy anybody else in this Mercado. I will tell you right now, I don't think you're correct at all. Wrong. All right, let's continue on. All right, actually, that's it. That's it. That is all the news I have for you today. Let me know your thoughts on all the topics we talked about in the comment section down below. Like I said, make sure you are entered to win in the giveaway that we're doing here on the channel. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button for me right now, especially if you like the content that we bring you here on the channel. Make sure you also are subscribed to the channel and also consider joining the member squad, becoming a member. Links to that in the description down below. If you haven't already, you can follow me at Justin Sovro on Twitter, and then you can also follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. We will see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.